Hello, my name is Mabi Azefor Fominyen. I am a mother. I'm an education manager and planner. I'm also a communication and media specialist. I want to talk a bit about raising boys in society today. I want to first start by looking at how boys were raised when I was a child. I noticed that in many households around me, mothers had a different way they were raising their boys compared to how they raised their girls. Even in our household, we grew up with boys. I have brothers. We also saw boys around our neighborhood. What I realized was that while mothers called their daughters to the kitchen to help out with the kitchen chores, to the cooking, with the cleaning around the compound, sometimes boys were not given equal chances to do such chores. And most often, the girls were quick to ask if they could come and give a helping hand compared to what I realized the boys were doing. They would rather go out to play football, to play games with their friends, and the girls would be there trying to help at home. Society also told us that boys should be raised to be strong. I need somebody to define what raising strong boys mean. Well, in my opinion, a strong boy should be the one who can fend for himself, who can speak for himself, who can do things by himself, who has learned a lot of skills, who has a lot of things he can do for himself, who can be an independent boy when he grows up, who has enough smart sense to figure out how to do things, who has learned lots of skills that will help him to face life. Is that your definition? I would like you to join the conversation and tell me more. But what I'm suggesting is that instead of telling boys that you need to know that you are the stronger sex compared to the girl child, you need to know that you are this or that and that, we should be teaching boys as we raise them to actually learn skills, to actually learn the things that will help them in future, to actually learn to do things around the house. For example, whoever said that doing household chores was meant only for the girl child? No one. It's just something that society has taken and is doing it everywhere, every day. What I'm suggesting is, as mothers, as teachers, as community leaders, and as people who live in our society, if you are calling the girl child to the kitchen to help out with the cooking, if you're doing the roster for the household chores, say from cooking to laundry to taking care of the compound to doing other things around the house, you need to also program the boy child to be on the planner. If you have a schedule where everybody has to take part in some kind of household chore, from laundry to cleaning of the yard to doing some basic things around the house, we need to put the boys on the roster. We shouldn't just let them go out and play as much as they want. No, they need to do these things so that they practice how to do them. And then when they grow and leave the home and say go to the university, they can do those things by themselves. We noticed when we were in secondary school, there were some boys who couldn't do anything for themselves. And sometimes I asked myself, what prepared them for college life? What prepared them for university? What prepared them for secondary school life? No. I strongly suggest that we should, in addition to sending our boys to school, we equally need to take the time to teach them how to do so many things for themselves. And let us not just go with this mentality that the sisters will always be there to help, or someone around the compound will always be there to help them. They will have a girlfriend, they will have a wife who will do things for them. Teach them to be independent and strong boys so that they can do things for themselves. And they can in turn raise their own boys and girls when they become fully grown men in the future. We need to invest a lot in teaching boys how to be congruent, how to walk the talk, how to be helpers in the home, how to take care of their personal hygiene from small, how to be organized. One of my friends once told me one day, I just get tired of arranging my boys' room. Boys will always be boys. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds so good when we all say that in society. But I think we need to put in so much energy and deliberate efforts and steps into raising boys, so that we do not just go with what society says. Boys will be boys, they will always scatter their things around, they would always throw things on the floor, you always have to come around to pick them up. No. Teach the boy that when you throw your things on the floor, you need to pick it up. Teach him to tidy up his room. Teach him to make up his bed. Even if you live in a home where you have maids and helpers and house girls and everybody trying to do that, we also need to teach children how to do those things. I remember when I launched the Maps Kids Club in 2009, one of the activities we did with the kids during the holiday was to teach children how to make up their beds. And it was fascinating that some of the children actually said that was the first time they were learning how to make up their beds. And I'm talking about kids who were like 6 years old up to 15 years old. We had the big ones even telling me that they never made up their beds, that their sisters made up their beds for them. Their sisters helped them to wash their shoes. Their sisters helped them to wash their clothes. Why are we continuing with the same habit? When that child grows up, will the sister follow that boy to his university room to help him wash his clothes? Will the sister follow the boy to his life when he gets up and he starts working and he's now a big and independent man? So I think that as mothers and as sisters, we need to really take an inner look at how we raise boys in our society, in our community. And let's stop this whole narrative of the girl child is the one to do most of the work in the house. Raise our boys to be fit to do as many chores for themselves as possible so that they would acquire those skills. They would always be of help when they grow up, and when they are married, they can help even in their own houses. They can be independent and they can do as much as they need to do at every given time in life. It starts when they are small. So that's my take today on how we can look at alternative means of educating boys and raising them to be all-rounded and to be ready for the future life that is going to be out there. Thank you so much for watching. Please join the conversation, comment, like, share, and let's carry on with this so that we can help society as a whole. Thank you so much.